Come on, people, please join the salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us this beautiful morning. Welcome to the April 19th Board of Selectmen's meeting. For those that you don't know me, I'm Lenny Espy. To my right is Vicky Kirkwood. To my left is Chuck Fuller. So, Darlene's on the computer over there, and Audrey's going to keep us running straight. I make a motion to accept the Selectmen's minutes for April 11th, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. And the Selectmen's minutes for April 12th, 2022. I make a motion to approve them.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. And the first set of non-public on April 12th, I make a motion to approve them.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say
Gotta be quicker,
aye.
Vicky. All right.
Aye. And the second set of non-public, I make a motion to approve them.
Oh. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. And also we had an elderly exemption that we signed in the signature folder. The manifest, I make a motion to approve that in the amount of $63,196.66. All those in favor say aye.
Second. Second.
Oh,
Me second.
Either way, but we need a second.
yeah, we need a second.
Yeah, okay, I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
We're new with this.
In the mail folder, we had a letter from DES on the receipt of acknowledgement of application for Bailey Road, wetlands application. And there was also a wetland permit for a resident on Remick Drive doing something in the wetlands in Province Lake. And there was a letter from the VTLA docket. I think that was on the vote that we took last week. We're holding off on that. We get other paperwork coming. Okay, so that was in there. And then a copy of the DRA 2021 total equalized valuation modification to me a fair market value for the town.
I gave you all copies of that because it was really extensive to read
Yeah.
and understand. So if you wanted to revisit it.
It went from
No.
212.
Yeah, it went from 213 million to 271 million. Yeah. Priceless town. And we also had a letter of thanks from the Freedom Food Pantry and a little newsletter from the Green Mountain Conservation Group. Town administrator, I think you're up next on that.
So when I spoke to VTLA, I just want to give you a heads up on that. They were concerned that the Board of Selectmen had did an end run on them and that only Superior Court can overturn that. But Mr. Strauss has asked that it be put on hold until his lawyer does some research with them. They did send up, they did send out a new letter last week that you should be aware of, just clarifying that position. So should read that one. I wrote to DES to ask them how the town could help out with the Waddington property. I have not heard back yet. And his property that the town took last year for unpaid taxes. One of them is on Iron Works Road. The neighbor wants to purchase it. And the town can sell it. Under the letter, we tell the owner when we take it that they have 3 years to purchase it back. So if the town wants to sell it to the neighbor, there's potential that the original owner could come back and have to deal with them. So the buyer would have to understand their risk. Deanna and I don't think that once the town sells it, the town would have any liability or involvement in that. But we're gonna verify that. So I haven't calculated the numbers and what that would be. What do you want to know about it to make that decision if you want to sell it?
We, when we did the same thing about 3 years ago, because we had 8 or 9 properties we had there, vacant land plus some stuff with buildings on it. For a butter that was next to them that expressed an interest, what we did is we notified all the abutters according to the zoning and said, if you'd like to purchase, bid on it. And then we took the highest bid out of the bids that came in, and 2 out of 3 properties we ended up getting bids in on from the contiguous landowner. The other one, I'm assuming is real estate.
No, it's, the property actually used to be part of their lot and their garage sat on it. And so they want to purchase it, tear down I'm hesitant to call it a shack, but it's a small cabin, and rebuild, put in a 3-car garage.
So they previously owned it anyway.
They did.
Any problem with that then?
And I guess that no one's been there for several years,
Yeah, we don't even know if the guy's still alive.
right?
So, because he never answered any of the fax notices.
Right.
I don't have a problem with the abutter buying it, but I think we should advertise it in case somebody else wants to buy it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You want to do it general, or do you want to do it just the abutters that are attached
No,
around?
do it
I-
general.
I would think have it available to everybody.
Is it an accessible lot?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got road frontage.
Agreed.
Do you agree with that? Vic?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And for the one that wants to purchase their property back, let them do it as long as they pay the back taxes.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna buy, if the previous owner's buying it back.
I did a estimated amount. Deanna gave me the taxes, the daily interest. For the RSA, there's a 10% fee. We would be reimbursed for our filing fee for the registry. So it's approximately $9,200.
That's for the property.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a structure on it. No. I'll write that up and notify him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, those are my big questions. You have the BOS rules of procedure. I think I put those in for you to sign. And then I have the class 6 road policy. I gave it to David Hines to review. He said he has a couple other class 6 roads on his map, and I asked him to also look at the RSA in case it changed in the last decade or so. And then I also converted the health ordinance over to Word to make it possible for revisions. And that's pretty much it.
What was the action item on this one?
I had asked for them to update their contract reflecting the new prices so that when the auditors come in, I have a contract to show them to the bill that match.
They actually spelled it out in the contract, what the
Right.
escalators are annually.
Yeah,
So, other than a separate letter, you're not gonna get an amendment or anything to the contract? Because it's a 6-town contract, so if there's any amendment to that, all 6 towns have to sign it. So I don't,
no, I don't think,
it's clear in the contract what the escalator is every year from an inflation standpoint, from the base price.
yeah, we significantly exceeded the escalator based on the meeting that was held in Freedom.
But we have, our usage factor's gone up dramatically, which would cause our prices to increase.
So that's all verbiage I can give the auditors, but if I had something.
Hand them the contract. We're not gonna be able to adjust the contract. It is what it is, and it's really clear as to what it is. The formulas, everything are in there.
Wasn't clear to me when I read it.
Okay,
So, he and his, I assume it's his contract person, said they were gonna get me something,
okay.
so.
Yeah, I mean, they'll give you a copy of the contract.
Well, even if it's on their letterhead saying per this meeting, the agreement is, this
Here's
is
what
the
it
new
is.
price for the
Okay.
town, and,
And then give the
Yeah.
auditors a contract anyway.
right,
If you get that letter and the contract, that will.
you just never know which bill they're going to choose to go with the contract.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and they've done it for the last 2 years, so they should have a feeling as to what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the town timber cuts,
I just checked with Jeff because last January, the selectmen had approved 2 timber cuts. And he said he's actually gonna be doing one in August. So there'll be revenue coming into the town for that. I have the letter from him if you wanna see it, so you know which wood lot.
no, there's one at Woodland Cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That, they're gonna take that, that's the one where we take timber off of the Sawyer to cut up for the town hall.
And the 6th grade certificates, those are,
Yeah, Minuteman really won't be able to do what we were envisioning, so I think online I can just have the town seal made on a roll of like 1,000 stickers that can go on the certificate, and Patty's gonna make room for all of you to sign, and so
okay,
they'll be done in time.
okay. Selectmen's comments, you have anything that,
Yeah, just, to reiterate that Steve has a trailer at the transfer station to collect soda cans, beer cans, juice cans, and please be mindful not to put trash in it, bottles, glass, pet food cans. And it's to benefit the historic town hall. I don't know if anyone has ever read the transfer station solid waste facility and mandatory recycling ordinance, which I had never read it until I came to rap. And it's quite interesting. If you have a chance to read it, it should be on the website. And a reminder that the dump stickers, transfer station stickers, the new ones are due June 1st. And you can buy them there or come to them.
We have had people come in to, when they register in April, and people start coming up here seasonally in April. So I mentioned last week that maybe we want to change it from June to April next year, because even someone from our planning board bought a new one and went, hey, this one runs out in June. So we have a couple people that we're just gonna give new stickers to because they rebought the 2022 one.
And it says 2022 right on it.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah, sell them early. That's the issue.
So we would just have to make a small change in the ordinance to make the transfer station stickers be like April 1st.
We did it purposely for June, so we stay away from winter weather, cold weather, and everything else while we're doing that. So that was a design element when we did
Are they
it
doing what?
on June 1. That the June to July was by design because of not having to deal with issuing all brand hundreds of new stickers when you could potentially be in the rainy weather of April. And it was easier to do it in June. So we can change it if you want, but
well, I believe the original reason to get it to June was Claudia said it was too busy at the window in January. And with everybody coming in paying their taxes, it was filling up. They were coming up and getting dump stickers. And so Henry Spencer suggested to go into June to get the people away from the window. It wasn't so busy at year end trying to get everything done. So that's why it went to June. But now they sell them, most of them at the transfer station. So the majority of the work is at the transfer station.
Right, we get the, see, you know.
So I'd like to see it go back to January 1st. I mean, that's when the year begins. So, you know, come January 1st, you gotta get a new dump sticker. You know?
Any thoughts? All right. I don't think that people will complain about losing 50 cents because their sticker was good till June.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how you guys feel, that's the way I feel. That was the original reason why it went, it always was January 1st.
Okay,
You know, new year, you get a new
right,
permit.
Yeah. And when we put the ordinance in a couple of years ago, it was basically around the weather was the reason we said middle of the year, but you know,
You know, most of, I bet the majority of the stickers are sold at the transfer station.
So what are you saying, that the stickers that are due on June 1st, don't redo them for June 1st and do them next January?
We can do that, or
I
just,
mean, why would you go back? You can't. So you let
yeah, we can
them-
let them go till January 1st and
no, we just ordered a new one.
Yeah, I was
well,
gonna say,
take this, these ones and,
but they're good for a year. So all of a sudden you're saying they're only good for 6 months.
well,
right?
charging 50 cents instead of $1. I don't know.
Alright.
Does it say they,
It'll get complicated at the transfer
does it
station.
say
Yeah.
when it expired?
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll see
I
if
think
they're
we're
printed
kind
yet
of-
and maybe get them changed.
maybe
Would that be a cost though?
messed up for this year. I guess.
No, it wouldn't be another cost.
To change the dates. If they haven't printed them yet, we'll just change them.
Okay,
But first, I would like to ask Mark, maybe you can ask them tomorrow if it would be a hassle for them to go to January. See how it impacts the workers there.
I don't think no different than June.
Never know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to assume what they do.
In and out of the building in cold weather, heat bill will go up.
In hot weather,
There's no,
air conditioning bill goes up.
if the air conditioner's on, yeah.
You know,
Just maybe a suggestion, since you're changing things now, maybe you should kill two birds with one stone. Change the date and the place, no longer pick those up here, everybody has to get them done. And then you don't have any issues with people. coming
well,
in.
we had somebody that's from out of state has to come here. The only ones that can get it at the transfer station is somebody that's got a registration that says an address at Effingham. Everybody else has to come here. So if you own a summer cottage on Province Lake, the selectmen won't, I mean, the transfer station guys won't know that you do,
We look at the tax map.
so they have to come here. That's why that's that way.
And there's also occasional special circumstances that are spelled out in the ordinance. They have to come here to get a letter for that. It's like a good for 24 hours kind of thing.
And that's why. right?
We don't get that many.
So you can check and see if they have printed yet. Okay. That's it. We get Chuck.
Yesterday, I basically, between Grace and I, finished the installation of the upgraded internet with consolidated communication. So it's now fiber at the library. So we're speeds of 100 over 100. Makes a big difference just being in the building and using the internet because it is fast. I'm going to, today, Audrey contacted me last week. I'm going to meet with one of the landowners that abuts the Bailey Road culvert scenario to explain with them about the deed easement that's needed for the work that we need to do. We did take a beaver off Townhouse Road this last week. And I came in and signed the Bailey Road bond agreement with Dawson and HEB this week. The email I forwarded you on FEMA, can you just check and find out? Because it looks like we gotta do something with maps. I don't know if David can look at that and decide what we need to do or
Yeah.
how we need
I'll
to go
forward
about
it.
that. The Carroll County Broadband Commission, Community Planning District Commission, CCB, CPDC, is basically meeting tomorrow. Diane Jarecki is the chair of that. And I had a couple meetings in the last week on the legal subcommittee, part of it as far as drafting bylaws and the RFP that needs to go out. Began work on the 2022 LCHIP grant for the Historic Town Hall project. I attended training yesterday. I have to have the letter of intent in before May 1st. And I need to have the entire application submitted by the middle of June. So we will be updating all of the bids. We need a minimum of 2 bids for everything that we're looking to do in the next project, along with a bunch of other documentation. And the good news is I can use pretty much the templates from 2 years ago. I attended the ZBA virtual training last week. It said I was supposed to get a link and I did not get a link, so we could print that PowerPoint or send it to the other selectmen. Can you just check and see if that came to you? Because
I got the link.
Yeah.
you did get the
I
link?
thought you registered. didn't you?
I did,
For that?
but-
So I was,
yeah.
that's why I didn't send it to you, because I thought you got.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking the question, because I thought I was going to get it, because they said it'll be out within a day and I didn't see it.
Okay,
So can you forward that to
I can,
the three?
absolutely,
Thank you
yeah.
very much. Last item for me is the Historic Town Hall monthly project meeting is tomorrow night at the library at 6 o'clock. Usually lasts about an hour, and the predominant discussion is going to be talking about the 2022 LCHIP grant, proposed work for the grant, and the proposed budget that'll be involved with that. In addition, I need to do a major adjustment to the grant paperwork from 2020 for the grant we got because of the substitution of the approved work by LCHIP for the powder post beta repairs that need to be done from a structural standpoint. So I'm also working on that, and it's like writing a grant all over again. So I'm writing 2 grants in the next month. So thank you very much.
That's it. You touched on the beaver. Do you remember how much we paid for that beaver gate, Clough Road?
33,000,
That's a
3,500.
bigger one than what we need.
There would be less
Yeah,
because he
can
had,
you check with, you get that
Chris?
from Chris, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then just get a.
'Cause
price
he
on it,
actually
'cause that'd be a good
measured-
Place for it.
He measured all the culverts for the 5 different locations we have.
Oh, so you might,
So he could probably take it and get us a price pretty quick.
yeah, okay, can you do that?
Yep.
And that'll get, that'd be a good place for one right there.
Yep.
Luckily, the other culvert saves us when it, they do back it up, but. I did meet with Dale Smith on Green Mountain Road. We went over the trimming and the trees and I got one property owner that I gotta stop and visit because there's a couple dead trees in the wall that he should come down, but they're in the wall, so I just gotta get an okay from the landowner on that one. So it's just a matter of catching up with it. You should be seeing, he's either gonna drop an estimate off or email you an estimate. So, he thought that there's only one big tree, so probably one tree will be by price and everything else will be by day price. Is what he thought.
Okay.
We wrote it pretty quick and he was gonna get back when he had more time. And we talked about the school was doing their birthday, possibly Friday, weather dependent, so. You might see, be careful if you're out, they're doing School Street, and I don't know what other road they're doing, but. Who was, you were checking on the civic ward, oh, Darlene, were you checking on the civic
No, I'm
ward?
checking on.
You're
them, and I
checking on
haven't
that?
heard.
Okay, all right. And I was talking with a guy who lives in town, he's got a logging truck, and he said that he could haul the granite from Mike's back to the transfer station for $200.
You won't get that cheap anywhere else.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, do you wanna give him the go ahead to do it, or
For that
Okay.
money.
just set it up with Mike at a good time to do it? Okay. And I can, yeah, Friday is a school children's Earth Day, and also the Conservation Commission is doing a Zoom presentation on the same day called New Hampshire Wild History. If anybody's interested, we get the info here. And just so everybody knows, we got a non-public at 9:30 with the police chief, so I'll just touch on this pretty quick. We had the new prices from Mason Landscaping. I make a motion to keep hiring him. He does an excellent job, so.
He's under contract now, isn't he? Or do you
No.
mean every year.
There was a 3-year contract. Last year I wasn't aware of that, so I only did 1 year. This one's a 3-year.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a motion to accept that. All those, need a
I'll
second.
second it.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. And also, I make the motion to adopt the new rules of procedure for the Board of Selectmen.
Yes. I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. And Chief, how much time do you think you're gonna need? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So if everybody wants to just hang around, we'll be 5 minutes. So I'll make a motion to go in the non-public.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. Hang around, people. We'll be right back.
Lenny, in the future, you should read per RSA and read the RSA number.
Yeah, all right. Per RSA 91A3:2A. Is that 2 or 11?
Gentlemen, ladies.
The recording wasn't on, so I don't know if you want to say it one more time.
Oh, I vote for single minutes, but we.
Mine's on.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you.
Wait for Audrey to do that. That's a voice sound.
It'll go flat.
Just got a little slight angle. Never have to worry about stuff. Wow, it's sitting at the same.
Also goes to second.
It's almost straight. It's Sunday.
Okay, welcome back, people. I'll open it up, public comment. You know how it works, state your name and address. Get it in minutes. So, anybody have anything? Dave?
Question. What are the
Name and address.
Dave Garson, 9 Winter Road? BOS rules of procedure was changing.
The meeting dates and time. And basically all it really changed every 2 weeks.
So what are these changes?
I can go over them, yeah, you go over.
So,
So the board's gonna go to every 2 weeks. We also added that if for any reason the board isn't here to vote on the manifest, they come in at different times and vote on it per the RSA. Let's see. There was just a couple of typos, and of course, you're welcome to a copy. We revised the wording on the minutes because we don't always have them up on the website within 5 days, so it says that they're gonna make every effort to have them on the website, but they're always available here at the selectman's office. Let's see what else. Just a couple of words that, as selectmen, that it's a measure of unselfish service compared to what the wording was. And then we clarified what actually happens to keys when they're issued to people. Because it said that, we had multiple keys getting into our offices and the locks were changed a couple years ago prior to me getting here. So the office staff have one key that goes through the whole building. The board gets a key to this part of the building. They can't get into this hallway in our respective offices. So that was corrected. But yeah, they're available if you'd like a copy.
So meetings now will be every 2 weeks, same time, same day.
No, they're gonna be at 4:30. There's a new schedule that's posted in the kiosk out front.
Starting May
31st.
Yeah.
This is the first one.
Starting May 31st, it'll be bi-weekly at 4:30 PM.
Is that gonna be a permanent thing?
I think we voted on 6 on trial.
Yeah, gonna try it,
And so,
see how the attendance,
Still on Tuesdays or?
still on Tuesday.
so if the attendance is not good, then you'll go back to mornings?
Yeah, chances are maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because that really interrupts your dinner time and everything else.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Everything else, I agree.
Well,
Not so much dinner.
we have a farm, so we're busy all day, and by 4:35 o'clock, we just want to sit back and relax, so.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know
Well,
who thought
that was
that up.
part of people, the community's complaint, that they work and they couldn't attend the evening ones because they weren't home.
So
yet,
people that
and
work-
the morning ones 'cause they
People that
were-
work all night can be here at 4:30. And I don't know. I think
There'll be
that's
people
not-
affected either way, Vicky, but we're gonna try it.
Prior to COVID, we always met at 5 o'clock.
Couple of things, letter from the food pantry, is that?
That was a thank you for supporting them at town meeting and requesting them.
And it was accepted by the week after.
And the fact that their workload has gone up dramatically and lower pricing on the service.
Green Mountain Conservation Group newsletter?
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
just
a
watershed
basic-
news, you didn't get that in the mail?
No,
You can take it.
I would like to, yeah, thank you,
It's worth it on doing this.
okay. I'm good.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Stacy Downs. I live at 78 School Street, right
Yeah.
next door. Can we just go back to the granite for a second that's being moved from Mike's house to the transfer station? I just want to know how it got to Mike's house or who made that choice to move it to Mike's house.
The contractor hauled it up there.
Okay, so now the town has to pay to move it back to the transfer station. Is it in the contract?
That's probably where it's gonna go.
The contract with the bridge builder was that they were responsible for removing and all the material and all the demo.
Okay.
And take care of it and dispose of it. Mike knew the granite was there and said, I'd like you to take the granite and stack it at my place, so they can be used for the town. So that's where it's been.
Mhm.
It was all buried, he unburied stuff, every pile dump that came in, he took it all apart, he spent 2 days moving the granite, to pile it up.
Why didn't it go to the transfer station originally?
Because it was part of truckloads of demo, which the other parts of the demo needed to go somewhere, we did not have room at the transfer station for all demo.
How would you get across the bridge anyhow? But,
Well, they had to go around,
Yeah, I know.
either way, they had to go around when they did it, so.
Okay, interesting, thank you.
So out of the goodness of his heart, Mike said, put it on my place, you can do all the nasty work there and then move it over to the other place.
I guess originally he wanted to fill, so to fill in his property, and that was in the, they just scooped it all out. And it was all one.
Fair enough.
It was cheaper to look at there than it was to look at 40 miles away. That's the reason why.
Okay.
Leo, you had your hand up?
Yeah, class 6 roads, you mentioned something about that?
Yeah, the selectmen talked last week about reviewing that policy, and so there's several ordinances that aren't typed in Word, or they're very old, things that are 12, 14, 20 years old. And so I just retyped it, and it mentions an RSA. I asked David Hines to see if that RSA can update it at all, so he'll let me know. And I think Lenny's gonna take a drive and check out the class 6 roads for signage and make sure they're marked and make sure the ordinance is up to date. Or
Okay.
policy if there's an ordinance.
Lawrence, you may remember Chase Mill Road, was that ever considered a class 6?
Chase Mill Road?
Yeah,
Although they said. Close to.
they built the house on it, he goes, his
Yeah.
address is Chase Mill Road. More like it's just a driveway.
Did he put up the sign?
Good.
Chase Mill Road, did the owner put up the sign?
I don't know. No idea.
That, I don't ever remember that coming through the Junkins Village, yeah, 153.
If you talk about the old road goes from Jenkinsville to the bridge.
Yeah,
As I know, it's still class 6.
yeah,
Didn't it have up that list, have all the. roads
Yeah, it
on it?
wasn't on the list, but it's on the tax map.
yeah, it wasn't on my list of class 6, but at least that's on the tax map.
Yes, it comes through.
Yeah,
It's about two, you know, two things, update two things
Yeah.
at once. That's the end of it.
Is it Chase Mill Road or Chase Hill? Road?
yeah,
With an M.
right next to the river there, the closed bridge on the river.
Oh, one more question, Warrington, what's this, on that one? You mentioned that one in the board?
That, Rebecca brought that, he's cleaned his,
DES.
yeah, he cleaned up his property,
Yeah, I noticed that he's not bringing our hazardous waste back up there.
yeah. So I guess he's a licensed hauler, he just didn't have a license for stockpiling.
Well, yes.
Yeah, so,
So the Chuck brought forward the email that you had received from the state last week. And in that email, the woman says that she'd like to work with the town. And so we didn't know what that meant, so I reached out to her and said, what kind of support do you need from the town? What, basically, what are you envisioning?
Okay,
So I'll let you
and,
know if we hear back from her.
and what about the vehicles, all the available vehicles up on that truck?
I guess they're all registered, but Rebecca doesn't know if they're running.
They're not running their parts.
If they register them.
Is this all,
Yeah, I don't, I,
If
to
they're
register, I understand.
registered, it doesn't really make a difference.
is this all been run by the health office?
But how do you verify that a vehicle's registered? How does Rebecca does that? I mean, they're sure that they're all registered.
Her and David went and did a site inspection.
The individual. They individual.
Okay, that's my answer.
Has all of this been run by the health office?
I don't know if they're involved with junkyard.
Hazardous waste,
Well, I wasn't told it was hazardous waste, I was told it was junkyard.
junkyard is hazardous waste. So
Well,
that
all
should
the
go
garbage
by.
is hazardous waste.
Yeah. I'll find out what the state's doing on the property.
I think Mike should be informed.
I don't know if he was copied on Rebecca's letter, I'll look.
Thank
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
But
you.
the part of you, David, I think it's worth waiting to hear what the state. might need from
Oh, I
DES.
agree. I agree, but I think everybody should have a heads up.
we have a meeting with, Rebecca and Mike and Tom Attorney and everybody on Thursday.
I mean,
And you, yeah.
No,
No.
the lawyer said, no need to advertise, no minutes, no, it's all attorneys.
I think some people think that
Yeah,
they can attend.
no, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it public or not?
It's not public, I checked with the attorney yesterday, and he said not public.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I originally made the request, Linda, I had asked to have it public if possible, but based on whatever he's gonna do, he said no.
It just seemed like it was, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I did not even say it, that it would be,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
obviously, based on what he wants to talk about from a second standpoint, he said no.
Anybody have anything else? In public? No? Maybe you have anything? Okay.
Recognition, yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion to go in on non-public, RSA 91K3
Right.
2A. Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
All right. And probably close after this. We have nothing else, so. You wanna hang around, you can hang around.
Have a good week.
We do.